Hi everyone, this is Greg from Greg's Whiskey Guide, back again. Fortunately, my cold is over. Other issues to solve, okay, but we're back on track with a big video, long video as usual each year. It's the last of the big shows of the year, fortunately. Ooh, chilling out a bit now. Lots of things to say, lots of things to try. As usual, frustrations, not being able to try everything, but it's normal. I mean, with 1,000 whiskies and such a big venue as it is, it's normal you cannot try everything. Gonna give you just a wee, before I start with the whiskies, there'll be 80 whiskies I will speak about, and 9 other spirits. So less other spirits than the previous years. It's my choice. A bit more Scottish whiskies, not enough always, but yeah, I hope you will find it interesting. If you have questions anyway, just comment it, put something in the comment. Whisky Live Paris this year was celebrating its 20 years. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's my 20 years also of presence there. I'm not 100% sure about 2004, 2005. I'm sure I was there because I didn't take pictures at the beginning, in the early years always. So what else? I'm going to speak about a bit about what the show is, because I was asked questions about how it is compared to the whiskey show, London, and then I will go directly to the tastings. So to put a long story short, it's a big venue, too big for you human being, and also what I don't like, there are pros and cons as always, is it's in length. So it's 15, it was a bit more than that, but for the exhibition part, 15,000 square meters. So you have here some of the exhibitors. It's too small, I know, but it just gives you the numbers. See? So, and the Scottish one, guess what, are completely on the back. So you're entering there. You have first French whiskies and other spirits, then other countries, and then all the grey here is Scotland. And of course, on the alleys, on the side and on upstairs, you have also another level, and also you have the rum gallery. You have the what else do you have? Oh, this year there was the patio of the agave, so tequila, mezcal. Anyway, this is crazy. This is a huge show. It lasts 3 days, 2 days for people, 1 day for professionals, press, but you can sometimes get invites, like I did this year, to go there. Before I was going 3 days out of 3. I can no longer do that. It's too tiring for me. All regards, but 2 days you can still do some things. I'm not going to give you in-depth tips and tricks about Whisky Live Paris. I mean, 80% of them, of what my pal Sertug from Turkey in the Whiskey Enthusiast YouTube channel, 80%, so to speak, 90% of what he said is you can apply it to Whisky Live Paris, because he visited Whiskey Show London, and it is a fantastic video. Go to see it. The Whiskey Enthusiast. Yeah, so if you're watching my channel, most of you are passionate people, devoted people to whiskey. You respect the people that are behind the counters, but like Sertug said, unfortunately not all people do. Some ask for freebies, for some things that are under the counter without even taking polite caution on anything. It's disgusting. Unfortunately, it's the way that it is. It's a minority here. You get more of those people, sorry guys, on Saturday, so where it's too busy at the stands, you cannot even approach. Hyped brands, but not only. So yeah, to go back to, so you gotta know a bit, prepare things, what you want to see, what you know you won't have time to see, etc. choose some brands, then be prepared for some surprises, like I said. Another difference, the price, the entry price is around 66, 62 to 70, depending on when do you book your ticket for one day. On the ground level, which doesn't comprise the VIP, I mean, it is still all the things you can see there, except these. So it's still hundreds of brands. That means probably 500, 700, 800 of whiskies. So it's more than enough. But if you have more money and you want to see some high-end stuff, and also the indie bottlers, many indie bottlers that have prices are not always great, some being great. I know Signature Vintage is a great effort last year and this year for some the 100 proof range. There are too many people, so I couldn't approach. I'm sorry. Well, 6 minutes already. What else? You get this when you get in with the map, unreadable map, but it's, I mean, you get also a voucher. You get vouchers. You know, here there is one for a special tasting of the Fireworks collection. Fireworks collection is a selection of 20 years celebrating the Whisky Live Paris, and also Whisky Magazine, which Whisky Magazine, La Maison du Whisky. I mean, it's not a big secret who organizes this. It's the first, so you have two cocktails also. I forgot to say, food and cocktails, and a lot of other spirits are not available on the show, but on the side of the show on different entry. So it's good, so you don't get the food orders. But if you want to eat before is my tip, and eat after to get a bit of relief about what you're gonna ingest. Also use the spittoons, etc. You know, all that jazz. But you have vouchers for two cocktails, and you have a voucher. It's the first year to do that like that, to get the catalog of the special releases, store pick exclusive. See how big it is. It's hundreds of I don't know, 250, 200, and there you have for instance, these chichibus with special labels. You have all the bottlings there. The prices are on the end. Before they were putting the price inside the pages, and it was better for me. And you get all the special releases. You see, for instance, this year I have to show you that. I will show you later on this, but let's show you this. So they had chichibus with special exclusive releases for Paris edition, like they say, but there are no less than 6 different labels you can have. See, so it's crazy. If you want to try these, you have to go to the VIP level. VIP level is free on the press day, Monday. That's why I could go a bit. Didn't want to spend 120 euros for that. The Golden Promise bar is something that made by La Maison du Whisky. It was a separate thing. They were doing special operation with vouchers like this, 150. You could try the new Nikka 9 Decades. I'm going to talk about later on. Or what is this? Ben Romach, 50 years old. For 800, crazy. For 800 euros, you can try. It's crazy. The 50 years old. Some of the bottles. I'm sorry, I'm taking a bit of time. Some of the bottles, the high-end bottles, were displayed on the stands. I was a bit frustrated, but not to try on the stands. Were things, but there were things under the counter too. Okay. Let's stop with the presentation. Anyway, I'm going to put video chapters, so you're going to see what you want to see and not something else. So yeah, this is the venue, Grand Parc de la Villette in northeast of Paris. What did I try first? I tried, you won't believe it, but 2 Calvados. One for comparison with the first one, with this one. And this one, why Calvados to start with? And why this one? So this is a Calvados from, sorry for if it's not precise enough, the camera is focusing on my face and not, unfortunately, on the pictures, though I spent some time to organize that. It's from Christian Drouin, the famous French producer of Calvados, Calvados in Normandy. It's apple brandy. This is his experimental series. Experimental series, where is it? Okay, it's there. Means they're aging the Calvados in regular, so to speak, casks, and in that case 19 years in French oak cask. It's 8 casks, and then what did they do for this special release? 5 months in ex-Springbank casks. They don't disclose which type of cask I asked it is, but a bourbon, sherry, etc. But I guess it's bourbon mainly because of the taste, and it's 50.4 ABV. The bottle is sold 130 euros, so it's not so much considering the age of the Calvados and the hype around Springbank. I'm gonna only give you a one try opinion, so please take it with reservations, but it was my first dram of the day, so my palate was rather fresh. It is good. Is it a highlight? No, but I'm not going to speak only about highlights, but a bit of other things on the side that could be interesting to know. It's a good Calvados, that's for sure. Is it a Calvados showcasing really Springbank character? I'm not sure about that. I found it a bit shy for that matter, and I was a bit disappointed. So it's a no buy for me, but it's a good effort for Christian Drouin. So thanks, but not for me. Then I tried a 19 years old for La Maison du Whisky for a Store Peak exclusive, which was not 19. Sorry, a 33 years old. 1991 release, vintage for 49% ABV. Beautiful, honestly beautiful, a lot of depth, so something else. So I started with other spirits, and you will see I will finish with other spirits. This time will be cognac, so bear with me. You're in for a big ride. Then I tried something, I'm sorry I don't have a picture this time, which is but I can show you what it's an indie bottler, what it does usually. You can see it there. It's something I did award last year, Benjamin Kuentz. Let's see if you focus. Un fût à part, which was a mix of 2 French distilleries, and this time it did try an experiment, putting the whiskey 20 meters under the sea for was it 1 month? I don't remember now, sorry. It's not very long time because you don't want the impact of sea salt and all the thing be too much. Interesting. Was it stellar? But it's just and it's for several hundred euros. But it's just, yeah, let's say it's something special. Sorry for the noises, there's some people moving. It wasn't planned like that, and I cannot do the video another time, so I apologize for that. What did I try next? I tried something that I was a bit disappointed about the pour. Let's say it politely like that. When you have minus almost half a centiliter or so to judge a blended whiskey at 40%, you won't see it. It's the Arlett. It's made for mix, but also for a big audience try. It's rather frustrating, let's say it. So I cannot speak about that. Try the Pinot de Charente also. Arlett, yeah, sorry, I forgot to say. It's this. It's Distillerie Tessendier who does cognac, but also for a few years now does whiskey. And this is the regular one with new oak and French oak, and this is the best I tried so far, the Mizunara finish. Yeah, as weird as it is, the French whiskey with a Mizunara finish. Everyone does Mizunara finishes now. C'est la vie. 2 peated whiskey to continue. One I don't have a picture because I have the bottle. I reviewed it already. I'm not going to be long. Artesia from The other side, T.O.S distillery in north of France. It's a Scottish pit, just added to their recipe of first fill and refill bourbon. Very good, very nice. 46% non-filtered, non-colored. They do everything well for me. Then first peated, again, it's not French peat. It can be, but not there. It's Fontagard. You're gonna struggle to see it because the bottle is black and there's a lot of light. In this show, I have to say the biggest issue I had taking pictures is the lighting. That was either too direct or too on the side and too low, so putting a lot of shade on bottles or too much contrast. So it's dark, it's black, so it's nice. Fontagard is a cognac distillery doing also whiskey for a few years. Rather nice things. So this is their first peated and very well balanced. 45% instead of 46. It's oh, then we're gonna go to something. Did I forget? Yeah, I'm gonna speak about Rampur. But before I speak about this, I think I don't have the picture. It's a novelty. It's not even in shops. As often for Whisky Live, you don't have the all the whiskies out before the show. It was end of September. Some of the whiskies like this one, I'm expecting it for end of November. If you remember well, Rampur, this is Jugalbandi number 5. And there was number 6 as well, you know, with special finishes, finishes. They don't state the age, but we can guess it's around 5-6 years old. So as it is an Indian whiskey from the Rajasthan region, you can multiply by 3 with the angel share the maturation time. So it's something like a 15 years old in Scotch equivalent, so to speak. This time Rampur did things very impressively with a whiskey called Barrel Blush, bottle of 45%, showcasing Shiraz wine, so Syrah grape variety, very nice, very fruity. But then, oh my god, they had something absolutely amazing. I'm gonna group a disclaimer for the sake of the video bottle order by distillery or company. I'm gonna group, mind you, the Foundation's exclusive La Maison de Whisky releases, but I will state it when it's the case, with the other available downstairs. I'm in the ground level, so it goes faster. But I didn't try them at the same time. I tried them at the end, second day, something or mid-second day, let's say. So this one was available downstairs. They did 2 releases this year with special finishes in that series showcasing Indian music. I explained that in the video about Rampur 4, which was the IPA finish, which was my second whiskey of the year in rank. So 95 out of 100. Guess what? I tried this, and 2 times. I went the next day because I wanted to make sure, and also compare it to my whiskey, to the 4 I have. And this is the 5th, and this is a Tokaj finish, a wine from Hungary, or normally white, sweet wine, not so sweet, but yeah, white wine. And it's absolutely stunning, and I did compare it face to face with the head to head, like you say, with the 4, and it did beat the 4 based on 2 trials. So I'm very excited to get this bottle and review it. It's a bit pricier than last year, 128 euros instead of 115. Starts to be difficult, unfortunately. Of course, the Foundation version, like often in their exclusive La Maison de Whisky, the price is going up. Why not, as long as customers buy it, right? So I refused to buy last year's New Vibrations. They change the name each year for their exclusive. It's a single cask strength. I forgot to say the strength of the Jugalbandi Forgot to 55.6, and yeah, the 6, which I was expecting more than that, okay, was a bit shy but nice. It's the Madeira finish at 55.8. This is the cask number 995 for the Foundation collection, first fill bourbon. It's an 8 years old stated, and it's 57.5 ABV, and it's like the other, but a bit differently, exotic fruit and flowers treat with vanilla bomb, vanilla everything. I mean, first fill with all that, excited by the tropical aging, so you get tropical fruits and flowers as well. I was blown away by this again. The two, I'm going to speak again about those. Not sure I buy this one because it's expensive, but we'll see. Next up, staying in the in India, but getting a bit more south with Amrut. I tried 3 things. What did I try at Amrut? I tried 2 for Foundation single cask for the La Maison du Whisky this year. I was a bit disappointed by both, I have to say. Sorry, Promote. Sorry, a shock. Virgin Oak refilled, cask strength 60%, all 60% those two. Excellent Roseau peated 60%. Bit aggressive for me, bit dry and tannic, a bit tannic and very strong character. It's what La Maison du Whisky likes, often in exclusive in many distilleries. Not necessarily my option. Not always. They do beautiful store picks, but I prefer this by far, which is the stout finish with Indian beer, as I understand it. So it's 50% ABV. I also like the packaging. It's the Amrut Reserve. So I recommend this. Next up. Oh man, we got something. I went on the Berry Bros and Rod stand, which they have the pioneers and the special releases. I tried 4 releases of Berry Bros and Rod. I'm gonna tell you what it is, but what blew me away was something else that they do distribute. I'm not sure they own the distillery. Okay, let's show you. Daftmill 2011. Oh my god. It's I think it's 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken, or 11 or 12. Yeah, it was bottled last year, but probably in this show some of the bottles were bottlings from this year, others were bottlings from the previous years that were available only this year. In France, or so to speak, depends on the bottlings, but I haven't seen this one. So this is the first time I see it and I'm able to try it. 2011 vintage summer batch, 6,550 bottles, 550 bottles. ABV, I forgot to, it's 46. But my word, for the 175 euros, expensive again. I tried 4 single malts on this stand. There were many others. We cannot try everything, like I said. I tried Glen Spey 2009 14 years old bourbon, 58, all cask strength, 58%. That was probably my favorite, with the Glendurlan 2011 20 years old bourbon cask as well. I had bit more issues with Glengarry. I love Glengarry, but a 12 years old Oloroso cask, and with the Blair Athol PX finish. They were nice, but a bit overwhelming. And where was the distillery character? I don't know. Now, going from an independent bottler to another. Before I tried some of their independent whiskies, I tried the distillery they own, which is Strathearn. I know this was released the year before, but the first time I managed to try it, and the first time it was even on trial for French audience, I mean in a show, so for Parisian audience, let's say, okay. So this is refill bourbon. This is sherry and virgin oak. I was afraid the virgin oak was important, but it's very minor part of it, so it works quite well. Very nice, biscuity, a bit nutty profile. It's Maris Otter barley, which is now a bit more generalized. 50% ABV, non-chilled, non-colored. My issue with this is not the quality. It's beautiful. It's the price. It's €100 here. I don't know how much in UK. I think 80 plus. It's a bit hefty again for 4 years old, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I gotta double check that. Something like that. Fermentation is for 144 hours. It's quite long. One thing I had to give credit to the stand. I couldn't meet Cara, etc. The people I know usually. I'm going fast. I saw someone I know, but they let us try the new make, and I think this is fantastic to try the new make, which was bottled at classical cask strength, filling strength, 63.5. Great opportunity. It was a new make from April 2022. Very clean spirit, floral, fruity, no flows. Very impressed by the new make that you can buy. It's in 20 centiliters bottles, so very good. If you have the money, I recommend the Strathmill. Unfortunately, if you have the money to, because I think the price is a bit hefty, I did complain about that as well. I tried those two beautiful whiskies from the old particular range. So there's, in this case, these are, not sure it's always the case, but often it's the strength they like, 48.4. So you have Talisker Bowmore 10 years old, 2014, refill hogshead, and very classic bourbon profile Bowmore, maybe less complex than some others and some sherried or some small batches, but clean, very nice, not stellar, but nice Bowmore. Then beautiful refill hogshead Talisker 12 years old, 2010, not a lot of bottles, 163. You gotta get quick. Nice profile when it's on the bourbon side, so really something I like. It stood out compared to the Bowmore, to be honest. It's not the same distillery, not the same style, but I think it edges a bit in terms of interest. But 150, no, it's too expensive. What else? I went to the D-Wars Bacardi, so to speak, stand, and couldn't try everything. Too many people again, but I tried those two, and also another. I'm gonna speak about. I'm not a fan if you follow the channel, and I'm not a big fan of the Craigellachie 13 regular. But I did appreciate the 13 years old bourbon cask and Baz Armagnac barrels finish, 46%. I did also, it's a bit different, a bit more nutty. It's not sharper, but it's different. Struggle to describe it on one try. I tried a 17 years old, which I used to love and couldn't get a bottle when it was clearer. Now it's a bit darker, rather nice one. And these 90 years old, aside from the 23, which was rather nice and balanced bourbon and sherry again. Unfortunately, I was told by the guy on the stand there was something special under the counter, but he said come back tomorrow, because I think he's trying to save them for the last day, and unfortunately I couldn't get back. Then the second day for the Craigellachie 41 years old, oh my god. Okay, I did consolidate myself in the 23 years old from 2023. So it's a different. I had the chance to try the, I think, 2014 or 15 one. Absolutely mind-blowing whiskey. This is a bit less spectacular. Also, it's a context of the show, so it's very subtle whiskey, the 23. So I'm not sure I did it justice in the show, but it was beautiful nevertheless. The same style, and I have the picture. Aberfeldy, 25 years old, which for the first time, I think they're going to revamp the range to make it a bit more connoisseur friendly, so to speak. 46%. For the 125th anniversary of the distillery, 24 years in bourbon, 1 in Oloroso. Very nice, very good balance. Next up, I'm not gonna show you for once the look of the single malt bottles, but I'm gonna show you something special. But this instead, it's Holyrood Distillery. Sorry for the reflections. Holyrood Distillery was for the first time Whisky Live Paris, showing his whiskies, but also his new makes, and it's fantastic that you get to try 4 different new makes. Holyrood Distillery really impressed me with, I mean, the approach they have. It's amazing. They use 20 plus difference of recipes to do their whiskies. We're gonna see that here. This is crazy. The mash bill, if you see it, I'm gonna show you that after. So I tried the Crystal Brewers X Distillers yeast, new make, the Crystal malt, chocolate malt, and made in Edinburgh. It's the name of the of those 4 bottles. There are way others. Very interesting. The chocolate and crystal malt for me stood out. Very crystal clear. It's the name Crystal. It's not, but yeah. And the chocolate malt, of course, more roasted malt. So we learned that before. I mean, at even the distillery, the French distillery where I work with, Nc'Nean, doesn't use that yet, but uses that for the beer. They should use for the whiskey, but who am I? They missed some opportunity there, let me tell you, but I'm not directing a distillery, so what can I say? I don't know how to distill. Anyway, it's not the debate here. The debate is that I did award Westland North American Distillery. We're going to speak about Westland later on, for the innovation, the quality of their single malt, their innovation spirit, etc. The green also element they bring on the table way before all these green distilleries from Scotland. And I mean, why do the mini rant here? Why do the Scottish distilleries, the established ones, and now some of the new ones use that, even among the established one, Loch Lomond, with the special champagne yeast, wine yeast, etc. But why do the Scottish didn't experiment more about yeast, about different grains, different type of malts, I mean, etc. I'm surprised about that. So kudos to Holyrood to work on this. I tried 2 whiskies from them, the Amber, which is sorry for the noises again. The Amber, which is first fill bourbon, Spanish oak, Oloroso sherry, hogshead, and bats, 43.6. And I tried the Ambra, which is first fill bourbon, Islay quarter casks, and New American oak, 43.6, if I'm not mistaken. Look at this, and you can also scan. I think I'm gonna show you. Look at this breakdown of what is used for the Amber. I don't know if I can focus. So you can see the mash bill, the yeast. It's very complex. They told me they can go up to 20 different recipes to get their single malt, and this is the Amber now, the peated. I kind of prefer that one. Very well, very nicely made. So you see how complex it is. So you can do the screen there and look out for more details if you're interested. Right. What else do we have? So this is a very impressive, very nice discussion as well with the brand ambassador who was previously at Penderyn, John Gallo. Ben Romach, of course. Couldn't try the 50, but still quite some. This was one of my highlight. Yeah, the 15 is beautiful. This was from earlier on this year, maybe. Beautiful. I'm gonna get back to it. What did I try? Were this kind of great distillery, very, very interesting. It's always good to retry every year also the core range. 10, 15 were beautiful, very well made. I tried 4 different contrasts before this vintage cask strength. I tried in peated, beautiful first fill bourbon, first fill sherry, 2014, 46%. If I don't say something else, it's 46% for the contrast. Virgin oak, I was prepared to hate it. I'm not a fan of virgin oak a lot, but medium toast, with medium toast, it was well made. It did work. I tried a pit smoke first fill bourbon. It's complex sometimes to keep up with them, because they do Benromach contrast pit smoke first fill bourbon, and they do Benromach pit smoke first fill sherry. So both were great. Somehow I preferred the bourbon. I don't know why. Maybe more complexity. And then the vintage cask strength first fill bourbon, first fill sherry, batch 2, 59.7. This beautiful. It's directly on the wish list, but it's gonna be hard to find because they're now on batch 3. Something I'm sorry I don't have the pictures, but you have seen them a lot in the press. Compass Box Nectarosity Crimson casks, great, rather nice whiskies. I didn't know what to think. Nectarosity is Palo Cortado and bourbon cask, and Crimson cask is red wine and sherry, 46%. These are blended whiskies, but with high malt content. Then, as I was discussing with the ambassador, as always, when you are passionate, they know, they understand it. Also, it's true, I have a special relationship with Compass Box. So, what did I got under the counter? The 4th and the last of the extinct blends. So there were 4 whiskies, and this is the Celestial. The Celestial, I hope I'm not going to be too long on that, but the Celestial basically uses 26 years old Cameron Bridge. So 2 grains to start with. Port Dundas, 24 years old. Glen Elgin, 23. Peltonnet, 22 years old. Ardbeg, 19 years old. And Caolila, 22 years old. It's a 2023 release, November, but it got here only after. So it's this year's 5,000 plus bottles, 50% ABV, 345 euros. It's the thing that was not nice to hear, but it's normal, if I may say, because there's very old stuff in it. So beautiful, very much balanced. I was expecting, knowing, learning the content that the 2, I don't remember now, I'm sorry, but you can check it out on the website, as always, the proportions. That's not big, of course, Caolila and Ardbeg, because, and as they're old, the impact of the peat is less than one could expect. So it's very well balanced, beautiful blend. Recommended for those with a deep pocket. Then the big surprise, but I knew I will have a big and good surprise, because several trusted reviewers did praise it. Yeah, the new Jura. And for once, the one with a natural presentation. Oh yeah, perspective number 1. 16 years old, 40, how much, 46 or more? I thought, yeah, 46.5. Bourbon and sherry, 4 years sherry finish, out of the 2024 release. Very nice, very well balanced. Not funky, not a funky Jura with those sometimes coastal and bit. It's hard to describe. Sorry. Sorry. Sometimes can get too maritime for me and too funky. It's hard to describe because I don't have a bottle of that kind of Jura. I have 2 Juras, but they're rather nice. They're polished, they're sanitized, and they're not displaying these raw, a bit green elements I'm talking about. Okay, forget about that. I tried the 21 years old Tide and Time bourbon and virgin oak finish. It was a bit less to my liking, but the 30 years old 1990 vintage, rare vintage bourbon and Morozov sherry cask finish bottle to 2020. It was cool that they kept that to under the counter to sorry. I talk a lot in this video to show the people. Anyway, we gotta move on. I don't have a picture, but I try within the new core range of Ben Nevis. For the first time I tried the new batch of traditional peated malt, 46%, and you know, it's the one with the rebranding, very nice, as beautiful as before. There was it was the return, happy to see the return of Loch Lomond Group and Glen Scotia in the same stand. They were sharing a stand. I tried a 21 years old Glen Scotia bourbon and sherry, and the 25, which I like a lot, the sample I have that I forgot to review. 20 years in first fill bourbon and refill bourbon, 48.8 for the 25 years old. The good surprise, I know it was sprayed by Roy and many barflies, steam and fire heavily chopped bourbon cask, sorry. Am I gonna finish this with no voice while I recovered my voice? Excuse me. I know it's one of the biggest video of the year, so yeah, 7 to 12 years old, it's what I managed to get information wise. Very nice, but have to say, aside from the Glen Scotia 25, the other highlight of the stand that I did try for the first time was this 25 years old Loch Lomond. Beautiful treat, lots of depth of the oak, not overpowering, slightly nutty, slightly spicy, very well balanced. Beautiful, beautiful whiskey. I'm sorry. Okay, what else? Two things. Okay, they're not in the good side. Voila. Two things on different stands. But before I speak about this, I have to show you. Where's my bottle? It's there. Isle of Harris, so the Hierach. They had batch 11 from this reference, the Hierach, simply called single malt. The batch 11, I have batch 5. You can figure out which number you have. Whoops, there, I did a video about it, so not a big deal. Beautiful. Again, they do things really delicately at Isle of Harris, so I really loved it. The new one is, let me tell you, first fill Oloroso cask matured by batch 4 already. Beautiful one. As you can see by the color, it's not a sherry monster. Some could expect that, it is not, but it's very nice, very balanced, like they know how to do it. Blender Shona is doing a great job there. Then another day I went to the VIP to try the single cask La Maison du Whisky. Did ask them, so you can see it there. I'm gonna tell you what it is more precisely. So it is a single cask number 1789. Is it on purpose because it's French Revolution date? I wondered. It's a 5 years old, 2018, for Foundations La Maison du Whisky. First fill bourbon cask, 46%, I mistake. I'm sorry, it's not 46. Yeah, it's copy and paste. You can get a lot of mistakes. Bear with me. I don't think I can see it on the picture. It's something that's 59.7. 59.7 ABV. I struggle a bit. Profile was a bit sharp, a bit too sharp for me. Neat, but with a few drops started to develop well. It's really something I guess you gotta spend time with, so cannot say more about it for now. So good, but with reservations. Maybe a too dry profile for me, but I can't be sure on one try on these circumstances. Where is it? It's not on a good... oh yeah, it's a reverse, okay. Then I tried the new Torave, sorry for the pronunciation, Cognacs, which is partly matured in Oloroso, sherry, bourbon, Oloroso, and PX Pedro Jimenez sherry, 46%. It's a chapter number 3 of Legacy series. Very nice, very well rounded. No sharpness, no overpowering of the peat. Very nice peated island malt. Recommend it. I think it's also decently priced. And then the event was the return of Scapa with a revamp plus some half natural, let's say, oh man, half natural presentation. Everything's falling apart. Maybe it's subliminal because it's half natural only. So there was the 10 years old, the 16 years old, and the 21 years old, all new. 16 years old bourbon cask for all, 48% ABV. Can you guess that for the 10 and the 16? And natural, no, non-chill filtered. They don't say natural color. They don't get up to that. I hope they will. Anyway, very nicely made. I'm gonna buy the 10 and I'm gonna do a special video with the 3 other official ones I have. And the indie I already reviewed, but quickly in a video about Gordon MacPhail, because it's an indie bottling. But yeah, pleasantly surprised, very nice. Something of the old 12 charm is lost forever, I'm afraid, but this 10 may be over, and it's good for the price, 60 euros. This 10 over the, on the first try, I like the 21, the 16, but the 10 impressed me more based on the first try. So recommend it. We're not done yet. Kilchoman, too busy stand. I went there 2 times. Unfortunately, couldn't try everything I wanted. The bottle you see in yellow label is the Strathearn I really wanted to try. Couldn't try it, so I could try only those 2 bottles. The Sunegg, which I want to buy me a bottle to compare it to mine, which is the older recipe of the Sunegg. Way lighter than this color. I kind of struggled with it in the show context, while I really love the batch strength, the new reference for the core range I have. Just to refresh things, or for those who don't know, the new batch strength is bourbon, sherry and STR casks, bottled at 57% ABV, so it's not a cask strength obviously, but it's a bit down with the water to that level, and it's I think the very clever use of wine cask STR help to round off the things. We'll compare it if I manage to buy it, 95 euros yet, with my original cask strength, which was made for French market. What else? We're going to Scotland, but we're also going back to France. Why? Because the distributor of Nc'Nean for France is the same as the Fontagard distillery I showed you before. So guess what they did? They did finish this Nc'Nean single cask for France with a cognac Fontagard cask. Why not? And it was quite interesting. I have to try it again to be more sure, but so l'Explorateur du Goût is the name of the distributor, pour les Français qui seraient intéressés. Ex-bourbon cask, finished 6 months in Fontagard cognac cask, 57.1 ABV, and of course non-chill filtered, non-colored and organic. And I had the chance to see Annabelle for the first time and had a wee chat. Fantastic job you do. Fortunately, I couldn't go back to try the new Huntress and the new Quiet Rebels Amy, which I would have loved to try, and the Cask Strength, the new, but hope there will be other occasions to try some good Nc'Nean. Are we finished? No, absolutely not. We're in the half. Oh yeah, I had another picture. The truth is in between the two colors, I have to say. It's a bit too dark color, but you can see the price is a bit hefty for France. You can see in this French advertising, you can see the number of bottles available, and you can see also the fact they used 100% organic yeast, anchor and fermenters, and the casks. So they say there nutty, fruity and vanilla flavors brought by the cask cognac, bringing creamy caramel, orange zest and grilled almonds, which kind of had, but I gotta retry it. What else? Of course, a big French section. I'm sorry if you don't like French whiskey, you're gonna be disappointed. Where did I put the first page? Apologies. Yeah, I forgot something, but oh no, it's because it's not on the top of the page yet. Okay. Bottom, I mean. Then I tried a new French distillery. Yeah, over 130, 140 now, with 90 of them having something out. 93, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot. It's a big boom. I told you about, again, so I'm not going to be waxing lyrical too much about French whiskey. They're hit or miss, as always, I know. So this is a farm distillery from center of France, Val de Loire, for the French audience. Ferme distillerie de Faronville. And their whiskey is called Lagomorph because there's a lot of rabbits in the farm, so they choose a word that includes the idea that it's shaped like literally from France. It's shaped like a rabbit. Anyway, they do 3 versions. There you have the Terre de Silène, so they put names of the places of the so it's terroir in the terroir option marketing side, but also what they use. So it's always terre de something. Terre is earth from Ceres. It's this one, not Jerez. It's virgin oak and bourbon cask, 45.9. They do some weird ABVs, 44, 5.2, 0.6. Anyway, I like this one. The Terre de Saint-Vincent as well, which is bourbon and banyuls, and the Terre de Silène was Chardonnay and Marsala, a bit more or less distillery character for me, but maybe. But good start. Wishing them the best there. I had this leaflet that explains a bit. You can see there where it is and how it looks like. You can see okay, the founder of the thing. Don't know if there's something really interesting for you. You can see other things, other versions they explain. Very nice. I'm always happy to have some documentation. So that's it for Lagomorph. I couldn't meet, unfortunately, Mathieu Accard, which is the reference if you want to know about French whiskey, as he wrote the book I already talked about. And Version Française, I probably told you about if you follow my channel. La Piotre is a distillery. Version Française, a kind of store pick indie bottling for La Maison du Whisky. Mathieu works for La Maison du Whisky and both for Version Française range. They do select small batches or single cask of French whiskies and often do a great job. There they had all these. I'm not going to talk about all these, but the darker ones are the older ones and the ones which were showcasing, for instance, Le Blavier. There were how much years? sorry, 18 years old. It's a very old French whiskey, for French whiskey. Blavier, which made of Bruno Mangin. I told you about Bruno Mangin already, which works only with a wine cask from the Jura French region. And we're gonna not talk about something rare also from the Alpenglow brand, from a closed distillery, very rare stuff. Also Le Breuil, a French distillery from Normandy, had an ex-bourbon peated, interesting. Yeah, basically trying to go as quick as possible. Okay, we're now on the second page, so you can see we're not done yet. Ninkasi is a brewery distillery that's very active there, doing also some special bars and burger restaurants where you can try their beers and whiskey. Is very nice concept, very open to people. So I tried this, which is the Cuvée d'Automne, which is the fall release, which was finished, by the way. It's in La Piotre. I told you about this French distillery, La Piotre cask. So it's cool that they do collabs between French distilleries. I found it quite nice. Which was 3 weeks in Morgon wine cask. They only do wine casks. Also the Madeira cask Vendange de Tinta Negra was nice, but not outstanding like I was expecting. I kind of prefer a beautiful single cask Lab 005, which was made of Pinot Noir and finished in Pinot des Charentes white, which is very important because it's different. Cask strength, very nice. It's Lab is the range for La Maison du Whisky. I think I saw the bottle somewhere, but I cannot prepare everything. I mean, it's yeah, there it is. So, and you can see the distillery, because this year they did showcase distilleries in the drawings of the distilleries in the catalog. So yeah, nice color, natural color. That's things we like. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 more French distilleries and then go back to something exotic. One of the best surprises is, guess what, very good to see some affordable 50-60 euros, a great French whiskey from the Edu, from Distillerie des Menhirs. Edu is the Dorn à Dorn, main dans la main. It's hand in hand. It's a beautiful, beautiful name for a whiskey, even if it's in Breton language. And also it's maybe, gotta be cautious, but oh no, please focus more. I don't understand why it's so unfocused for me and for, let's see if I can change. Yeah, I'm gonna do manual now. So yeah, you see, great, almost orange color. What is this? Edu is the brand from Distillerie des Menhirs with buckwheat. Already talked to you about, if you follow the channel, reviewed some expressions. This one is finished in Pinot des Charentes red. It was a sweet wine, which is very trendy at the moment, and for me, let's say, 90% of the time overpowers the distillate. The distillate here of Edu is so strong, so characteristic, with some green elements, some herbal green elements, almost botanical, but on a good way, that it cannot be killed by the finish. And this is awesome. I really love when you can absolutely find a distillery character with a very specific and marking, normally finishing. You can feel the finish and you can feel distillery character. It's a perfect marriage. I think we have an ace there. Very interesting. What can I say else about it? 2 years in is it cognac cask before? Yeah, cognac cask, and then Pinot de Charente for 1 year. Beautiful whiskey. Okay, enough praising. Galade from Distillerie des Menhirs. It's another French distillery from Brittany, as the Edu was. This is very special. This is very specific. This is the time also I speak about World Whiskey Awards for France. The first year they did, this one won a big prize. I'm not going to be long on that because I'm going to speak again on French whiskey in other occasions. But this one got, I think it's a gold prize. It's a number 25. It's a single cask with a very particular story. It was left over for some reason. Legends of distillers are quite weird, I know, but this one, cask number 25, was forgotten or left on purpose. I'm not 100% sure. Just aside from the still, one of the stills of the distillery. So very heated environment, almost American style heated warehouse, if so to speak. So it's a French oak, 4 years, like I said, still room matured, like I wrote. 53.5, it's absolutely stunning. I didn't expect that. I expect something overwhelming, tannic, undrinkable. It is beautiful instead, fruity, very nicely oaky on the good side, and very, very deep, very interesting. I really regret it's sold out already. Now, if you ask why the yellow dot in my pictures, maybe you wonder, right? It's the way, because I didn't have the thing that Sertug advised you to take for, that's usually for wine. You had a tie here, and you can put your glass there and your hands free. I didn't get that. They don't give that at Whisky Live Paris. They don't give you biscuits. They don't give you water. By the way, you have some places you can have water in the big plastic tank. You can refill your bottle if you have one, as I always do. But nothing like that is given. So I put the yellow dot, not to forget it, between other glasses put there by people or left over when I do my pictures. So you know everything now about it. But yeah, beautiful. Galad has other whiskies that are good. I praise the one called À la Table des Chefs. You heard about last year that I retried. What else? Yeah, there was another one I tried which is called the Roi de Coeur, which is some family hand-picked cask, which was interesting as well. And then we have to speak, of course, about Armorique. Not yet about this one, but I tried the new 10 years old. Oh man, because I bought the 2023 10 years old. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I will do in due course. This, which was one of my whiskies of the year last year, we got the 2024 batch. Nice, but difficult to say in the show context, because very subtle whiskey. If it was better than this one or equal or less, I wouldn't say based on one try it's as good as this one, but it comes close, let's say. Aside from this and from the 10 had a bunch of other references. I know the core range, so this, and you can see the one on the right I couldn't try because a bit busy on the VIP level. They had 2 store picks for La Maison du Whisky. This one is a 12 years old single cask. Oops. 20 years old single cask. 100%, yeah, organic barley. 46%. No. Mistaken there, sorry. Oh, I don't have the info there. Maybe later on. Yeah, sorry, single cask at 55% ABV, refill bourbon. Rather nice. Now it's 130 or something like that for 12 years old. I don't know. Anyway, before I get to peated whiskies, which change the name. Armorique is from Brittany and the oldest French distillery making whiskey, and Varanghem is the name of the distillery. But they have another brand. They have several other brands, but they have another brand I will speak later, which is another name, which is peated. They have separated now since 2012, the peated and peated. They did brought, for those who had a password from the Instagram account following them, they had a password. We have to say at the stand to get some under-counter drams, which is great because they were not at the VIP. We had some straight from the cask samples, which are not bottled, not available to buy, let me tell you, they were amazing. There was the 2 8 years old, if I'm not mistaken, one at 60.9 and the other one 61.3. It was peated, 10 years old, beautiful, ready to bottle. I mean, did they had that on sale at the shop? There is a shop, often too many people there, and I prefer buy outside the show. But yeah, I would have bought them if they were reasonably priced. This was good, but I have to say the cask strength impressed me more. Good also were these two. The one that's a bit on the shade, with the blue label, is the regular Jobic U.S.A. is the brand when it's peated, and the one you can see on the front is something more powerful because it's it's 56.3. It's edition exclusive, and it's a new one. It's limited release, 4 years, sherry cask, first fill sherry cask. Bit overwhelming for me in a way, but still nice, let's say. Now, before we leave the French section, I'm gonna inverse because I realized it was not on the good side. Finish with French whiskies. I told you about La Piotre. They had this. The picture is not the best. It's clearer than that. They had. Do you believe the new distillery exists from 20 years? So they had something gathering 7 vintages from 2014 to 20, 4 to 10 years old. Récolte is the name of the La Piotre. They changed the bottle because it was special, but this is how it looks normally, 50 cl, with different color labels, etc. Very nice whiskey. I can only recommend it. Hard to talk about the profile really now. Then, big surprise, but I heard about them before and was a bit confused about the name. I had to do some searches. It seems that Fielden is the name of a new range brand. They're rebuilding a distillery, but normally it's under the umbrella of the Oxford Artisan Distillery in England. So it's an England distillery doing some nice experiments around the rye, the rye grain type. I tried 3 expressions. The rye, simply called rye, 70% rye, 20% wheat, 10% malted barley, matured in Moscatel and Madeira casks, but it works, 48%, it works. Harvest 2019 was one of the 2. So again, same recipe, matured New Oak Sauternes, and an Italian sweet wine I never heard about called Ramondolo from the Friuli region. If you know this wine, let me know what it tastes like, what you think it can bring to a whiskey. Thank you in advance. And also the field notes, which hedgerow rye whiskey limited with 4 years of maturation port cask. Rather nice as well. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. Forgot to say that La Piotre, the previous one, was matured in local. It's from the Loire region, near the center, only with almost only with local casks, white wine cask, and Sauternes, which is sweet wine from southern region than that. Then I forgot to bring the picture, but I tried a new Nikka Yoshi 10, which is nice, but I don't know for 150 euros if it's really worth. And then I did something wrong, really wrong. In the Whisky Live Paris, they have masterclasses. The masterclasses are free. This is fantastic. They do 3, 4, 5 a day. Problem is, you have to go to that place where the masterclass are, and then you have to stay for 3 quarters or 1 hour, in comprising probably the time you do the queue. And between you're not going to be able to try a lot of things if you go there. So I hesitated for several ones. I missed once again, sorry, the one from Serge Valentin, which we saw with a big pleasure at Roy's Aquavity latest VPub. Serge, I meet him in Whisky Live every year. We struggle to see ourselves outside, but it's a great guy and one of the best connoisseurs of any whiskey. I mean, mainly Scotch whiskey, let's say, and Japanese. What can I say? Yeah, I missed Nikka's masterclass, and I did really wrong. And kudos for Lord Blackwood Spirit, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram or on social media, who published things of his masterclass. Because if I knew, it's 490 euros the bottle. The new Nikka 9 Decades was on tasting at the masterclass. Oh man, how did I miss that? So it was a rare opportunity. I'm not sure I'm gonna have again to try this beautiful on the paper whiskey. You have the breakdown here that this guy kindly noted. It's the 9 decades of distilling of Yoichi Miyagikyo single malt distilleries from the Nikka group, but also Nishinomiya previous grain distillery before it got all brought to Miyagikyo to also do grain whiskey. And you have two more recent, so it's rather 4 years old stuff this time, Moji and Satsuma Sokaza distillery. But it's not 100% Japanese whiskey because there are Ben Nevis whiskies in there. They do own Ben Nevis Scottish distillery. So basically this Nikka is 48% ABV is insane ABV for this, if you ask me. You have the oldest cask of Yoichi. I told you already, if you follow my videos about Yoichi, not many people have seen them, but yeah, lots of infos were given there, mind you. If you watched the video, you knew that they have a cask from 1945, Yoichi. I was told that a while ago, and they did use it this time for this. We don't know the proportions, of course. They did use whiskies from the 40s to the 2020s, and the Ben Nevis, I was told they use casks from 1960 to 2020. So it's insane. Probably mastered blended whiskey, and I hope someday maybe I will have the occasion. I don't know. Lots of infos about it, but we're not having time. If I manage to try it, I'll let you know. Kavalan, the Taiwanese stand, before we get to Japanese whiskies again. This year I did quite some Japanese stand. This is the Solist bourbon. This is absolutely mind-blowing. I did even prefer it to the sherry, which is different, but so this one is single cask strength, 1 liter bottle. I was surprised, 53.2, the Solist bourbon, and I have the reference if you ask me, but I'm not gonna say it there. It's too long. And the Solist sherry was bottled for 55.6. It's weird because I cannot find these bottles easily online. Prior to that, I tried a new reference for a bigger audience, I guess, which was the Kavalan Lan, which is a very floral packaging, showcasing that. Port Vino Estier cask, 43% ABV. We're getting to more wider, more commercial, so to speak, territory, but beautiful. Then, for the first time, not first time, but for a long time, I didn't go on Mars Shinshu, belonging to Hombo Shozu Limited. It's complicated with the Japanese whiskey because they have several distilleries now and several locations to age their whiskey. So I tried several whiskeys from the Mars distillery, which is under there's two distillery names, Tsunuki and Komogatoke. For the pronunciation, see my friend Mac, who will be better than mine. And I tried the Ya, which is not on picture there, I'm sorry. The Ya-03, which is blended malt of Komagatake and Sunuki, bourbon cask, 51% ABV. Very nice, very sweet, very balanced. Hard to speak more about the profile here, honestly. I tried the Komagatake 2023. It's not there, but it's a bit different look. Which was they do. You will see this also with other distilleries, Japanese. I'm going to speak today. They do a weird mix of cask with a lot of mixing bourbon here, port and red wine. Also, I tried Tsunuki 2023. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. And the picture with has bourbon, what they call key malt. I don't know what it is. Sherry and port. Very nice, very rounded. Hard to say what's the distillery character. This on one try on the show. I don't know. But then I upped the game with something very, very good. Really going to big heights of Japanese whiskey there with the Chichibu on the way, which Mac told you about. It's coming there. Floor malted, because not all whiskies from Japan is floor malted, and for Scotland as well. Hope the mic is okay, by the way. Chichibu on the way, 9 to 15 years old content. Bourbon sherry, Mizunara wine, Chiribaru cask. What is Chiribaru cask? It's quarter cask version of Japanese quarter cask. 54% ABV. This is beautiful. This is floral. This is fruity. This is a bit. This hay. This herbal. This is nicely, gently oaked. This. I mean, it's very high quality. I knew that by Chichibu. Now, our problem with this Chichibu. Let me check out. Yeah, the Mars were already from 115 to 148 euros. I hear you guys. This Chichibu is 329 euros. Come on. And the next one I'm going to show you. No, it's later on. Yeah, it's a single cask. It's even more expensive. So I tried I tried three ones. I tried the Paris edition, which was rather nice, with the temple, the Asian temple. I showed you the labels before. And this is one of the four Morigoshi, which is the name of the artist, label. They had four different ones. It's a single cask, 6179, heavily peated, 7 years old. 63.7 for the foundation collection, only 161 bottles. The problem is 399 euros. Well, I mean, Chichibus, you have some at 150, but Chichibu is very hyped, is very sought after because it's very high quality spirit, but problem is price again. But beautiful. I love the label as well. This all works on the graphic label there. But yeah, it's not for us, most probably. Then we get to something more decently priced, but it's still very high. Regarding Scottish prices, they did an effort for the core range. 99 euros, if I may say, compared to the others, which are 129 to 190. Oh man, yeah, still expensive. Kanosuke new distillery from Japan. You heard Mac talk about it a lot. He knows way more about me about them, but I tried 4 of them. Yeah, I have another one there. What is interesting is they have basically they're owned by the Kanosuke distillery. The owner does also what is called Komaza Yozo. Sorry again for the pronunciation, which is aged shochu. So their production was made that before they went to whiskey. So why not using X-age shochu cask? And so that's what they did. They fill it American oak cask with shochu, and then emptied the shochu, and then also mixed with in the recipe sherry cask and and peated ex-bourbon malt cask. So 48% ABV. The core range is it's the one there. It's rather nice, very well balanced, interesting. I didn't get really the shochu thing. This in a show. I tried then something that had to be called a blend because it's using from another distillery. They have hyoki, unmalted malted barley, and then matured it at Kanosuke, 51% ABV. It's a single grain whiskey, in fact. And then I tried a double distillery, which is there. I talked about this one, and now this is there. The double distillery is also blended from the two different Hyoki and Kanosuke distillery. Richard Shochu, Virgin Oak, Bourbon, Sherry Cask, lots of things there, but 53% ABV. Very well showcasing the work they do there. And then the limited edition. We're not at the end, but closing in. So this was a more limited release I tried. They had the 24 is out, but we couldn't try it. Peated malted barley, ex-shochu, ex-sherry one cask strength 59%. Beautiful. This is great. I cannot say this is not great. But 165 euros. Would you pay that for I don't know, 6 years old? I don't know. It's up to you. But I had to talk about the quality of what I tried. Then I missed what I wanted to try. I changed completely. I missed a lot of Northern American distilleries. I'm sorry, missed Willet. I wanted to try also the old Potrero rye. They had some apparently great releases for store picks, but nah, too bad. But I tried one of those two. I couldn't take pictures of all. I wanted to try Westland. I told you about this beautiful single malt distillery. They had previously 3 references in the core range, but I'm going to probably speak about that again. They had previously American single malt, they had the peated and the sherry wood. They mixed the 3 to do a core range. I think, carefully made single malt. It's the only name now. It's a very nice balanced one, and now they make it enter to the core range 2 special expressions: beer cask finish, which unfortunately couldn't try, and this. And on the website you can go and have even more than these details. It continues on the bottom. So this is a wine cask version. This one uses a lot of Northern American wines. I'm not going to detail all, but there's Cabernet Sauvignon, there's Syrah, there's a lot of things there. There's 4 lines I've written there, so if you're interested I will detail you the different, but as usual they use 5 different malted barley varieties, or so to speak, treatment of them: pale chocolate, brown malt, etc., Munich malt. And is matured in New York, ex-bourbon cask, and finish in, like they say, Pacific Northwest wine cask. Cabernet Sauvignon, Syrah, Tempranillo, Petit Verdot, Washington Red Blend cask. What is that? 46% ABV. It is announced. I don't have a French price. It's not there yet. It's announced $93 US. Just to give you an idea. The beer cask also mixes ale, Scotch ale, stout, brown ale, doppelbock, etc., etc. I wish I could try that one, but the bottle was finished when I was on the stand. But I tried this beautiful single cask, which is 6734, the number. This one was 4-year ex-bourbon, 8 years old. It's the oldest Westland I tried so far. 4-year ex-bourbon, 4 years in Mount Gay rum cask, 61% ABV. Delicious caramel, delicious malted barley notes with a hint of that rum funk, but very sweet, very nice. Not funk, touch, let's say, sorry. So yeah, this did conclude almost my whiskey tasting. But last but not least, for the first time, the Hap Distillery was coming there, and it's too long to explain, but unfortunately I missed 3/4 of what they did on the stand. But at the very end, I managed to try 2 different single casks from their independent bottler branch. It's a distillery from Alsace, for the east of France. I have whiskies from them already reviewed, or will review at some point. But they had 3 single casks. I could try only 2, finished in wines or beers from the region. There was a very nice stout cask, but this one blew me away. It was so I think it was 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. 3 years in white wine cask, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 years in Gewürztraminer. You know, this sweet wine from Alsace, sweeter wine, and this is absolutely fantastic. This is crazy fruity and floral. Really loved it. Very hard to find, so I hope I will manage to get me one. Last but not least, cognacs. Fortunately, I had other shows I could try. I don't have a picture, but cognacs from Gros Perrin. You know how good Gros Perrin is if you follow me. Number 64, Heritage. It's Heritage, yeah. Beautifully fruity, floral. As always, very rich profile. 57 years old Borderie is the region. Bottled in 2021, weirdly. 53.3, all natural things in there. Fantastic. This is fantastic. I mean, I cannot say good things enough about Gros Perrin. Last but not least, I missed a lot of things, but I could at least try 1 bottle from Jean-Luc Pasquet, which is beautiful. Trésor de Famille is a collection. Le Cognac d'Arlett is the name of 44.6. It's what's the age? Oh man, I don't know. It's a 70. I think it's an old one, probably 30 years old if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to say. See, I wrote it somewhere. Wait a minute. No, 53 years old. It uses petit champagne, and it's 366 bottles, only 50 cl. 44.6, 195 euros. But it is beautiful. So there you have it. It's very long as usual for this kind of videos. It's very hard to summarize. Believe me, there were other things, but yeah, these are my highlights. Hope you like it. You know all that jazz. Click, clack, clack, clack. See you soon, and yeah, also check out the Rozelieures and what I said on my YouTube page. I was sick, I couldn't record a video, but you can check out my votes and my guesses on the winners. And yeah, if you have questions about what is the show and what I tried, what I didn't try, what you would have tried, let me know. Take care.